Hello and welcome. And I've got with me online Sean Healy from Adapted Sport. Now we've already had a chat to Jennifer Wong from Adapted Sport as well. So it's a great pleasure to welcome Sean in this new collaboration between the Inclusion Club and Adapted Sport. Welcome, Sean.
Thank you very much, Peter.
We've heard, as you know, we've heard from Jenny already around Adapted Sport, and we're really quite excited about this. And one of the things that as yourselves, it's very, very similar objective is to share this knowledge, to share ideas and thoughts and techniques and tactics around adapting sport, adapting equipment to help inclusion. How do you think some of the ways you guys have already spread that knowledge and that we can spread that knowledge as well?
Yes, well, so the main way we have spread the knowledge so far is by through workshops. Excuse me. So we started back in, I think it was 2011. We gave our first workshop in Ireland in the Anne Sullivan Centre, which is a centre for individuals with disabilities. It's a residential centre. So we worked with the staff there to teach them how to adapt equipment for the residents of the centre. And we saw that this model worked very well. So we've kind of replicated this and expanded it. We've gone to conferences now throughout the world, including North America, in Europe. We went to Brazil, and most recently we went to Istanbul for the International Symposium of Adapted Physical Activity. So we find this a very great way to spread our ideas, because of course it attracts a lot of people and people who are interested in increasing opportunities for individuals with disabilities. We also try to use online forums, such as our collaboration with the Inclusion Club, to extend our reach. Our Facebook page also, which the address is included in this episode, is another way where we can not only share ideas, but we find it very useful for other people to give us ideas also, so that we can help good ideas benefit the most people as possible. We also have a publication recently out, a practical article for practitioners about adapting equipment. So we hope to continue with things like this also.
You do use something, a little framework in your work, which is I really like it because it's quite simple, but that's another S, called the 6 S's. And can you briefly explain what the 6 S's are?
Absolutely, yes. So when we were starting the Adapted Sport, we wanted to kind of inspire creativity in practitioners. So we developed these 6 S's to kind of guide practitioners into thinking about how they can be creative with the equipment they're using. So I'll briefly summarize the 6 S's for you. So the first S is speed. So we can adapt the speed of equipment. Of course, balls here would be the typical example. For an individual maybe with a mobility impairment, the speed of a ball often means that such an activity might not be accessible to him. So we can easily slow down these equipment pieces by, for example, deflating the ball or putting some sand into a ball, for example. Another one then is sound, of course, especially for individuals who have visual impairments, who really need to use their auditory senses. We can add sound to all different equipment pieces. For example, we can put a doorbell behind a basketball net, for example, or a goal, so that they can press the button and they can locate their goal if they're doing target practice, for example. We can always put bells in a ball to help individuals locate the ball, or just put the ball in a plastic bag is another very simple adaptation, and it adds that a sound to the equipment piece. So the surface can also be adapted. This is actually good for all children. Personally, I've worked with a lot of children with autism who really like if you adapt the surface, because they have different tactile needs and issues. And also, of course, for individuals with visual impairments, a lot of them have can see light, for example, so you can attach light, maybe using Christmas tree lights, to different equipment pieces. So this is another way that we can adapt the surface. The size of equipment, of course, is one of the most basic ways we can adapt, but a very effective way. So we can adapt things from goalposts or target sizes or the height of a basketball net. Or, for example, instead of using a basketball ring, we use a hula hoop, for example. We can, of course, adapt the size of balls used as well. So all equipment pieces, you should consider the size of them. Then support involves usually suspending equipment pieces. For example, you're practicing the strike, you can suspend a ball with a rope. it would be the obvious adaptation there. It's a simple adaptation, but again, it makes a very dynamic activity more predictable for the individual, and it slows down the pace of it as well. Also, switches are kind of a new adaptation that we're seeing more in adapted physical activity and physical education. And it usually involves an individual with a more severe impairment. For example, maybe they just have the use of one of their hands. So it involves them activating a switch to fire a ball, for example, across a tennis court net. So this is a wonderful adaptation that we're seeing in sport, because it means all activities are actually accessible to all individuals. And these, so I'm talking about switches, which sound kind of high tech, but we can also make some of these ourselves. As you will see on our Facebook page now, we have a simple adaptation that involves a catapult-like piece of equipment that was made with some rubber and some timber that you could find lying around, and it can be used to fire any size balls, depending on the distance or the activity that you want the child or the individual to be participating in. So there are the 6 S's.
Yep. I really like that framework, and like you say, the switches one is a really interesting one, because it doesn't have to be the high tech. It can be, constructed out of stuff most people have got in their garage. There, so I really like the framework there. What about the future for adapted sport? We know we've got the collaboration kicking off now with the Inclusion Club, but what other things do you think in the future for adapted sport?
Yes, so we have a lot of ideas gathered throughout the past work we've done. So we're going to continue spreading these ideas. For example, we hope to do a workshop at UCAPA, which is coming up soon, and FAPA, which is coming up also, I think, in October. So we hope to continue to do these. We also hope really to push our Facebook page now, because again, we see this not only as an avenue to spread our ideas, but we want to get other people involved as well. So we have a nice international team at the moment, but we hope to gather more members on our team, and also more followers who are going to collaborate and work with us, so we can increase the number of ideas, and so increase the individuals with disabilities that we are helping to access physical activity.
Yeah. And what you've made a couple of little calls to action there. But, the call to action, obviously, we go to the Facebook page, have a look at someone, get involved in that area, because the more people that spread this message and input their ideas, really, the better, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's very common when we go and do a workshop that we get an idea from someone in the audience, for example.
Yeah.
And as soon as the man or the woman says it, you see people nodding all around and writing notes that they're going to use this adaptation idea. So we want to just get the message out that if you have an idea or have a way that you're adapting some piece of equipment for one of your members, maybe if it's in a sport club you work in, or your PE class if you're a physical education teacher, that you share the idea with us, so that we can share it with other people, because you can be sure that if it's working for you, it's going to work for potentially hundreds of other people out there.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Over the years, I've seen hundreds of adaptations, and some of them are very context specific, but some of it also very general. But they're all worth sharing. I mean, that's the common thing that we these days, the work especially that you're doing, is trying to share those ideas. I think it's quite brilliant, because we've seen lots of them over the years, and many of them are duplicated over there. So is there a place people can go to get those ideas? I think it's great.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, Sean, that's a nice little intro into this episode in particular with yourself and Jenny. We'll continue to build our section of the Inclusion Club around the work of adapted sport, and to try and help in terms of sharing that message and those ideas that you have. So thanks very much, Sean. We'll definitely, of course, be in touch, but thanks very much.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Peter.